Story time on when I called the cops on my narc ex, twice. You would have done that too. You would have. So this all took place around, I want to say May 2023. So boom, met this man, got to know him. Not gonna say where I met him at though. Met this man, got to know him, and he was from my culture. And I got to understand that he has just been living in this country for only 6 months, right? Boom. Got to know him, we're talking, this and that. And he never asked me to be his girlfriend. So around like 2 months in, I'm like, bro, what is this? What is going on? What are we? He was like, I thought you were mine, this and that. And I'm like, no, because you never asked me. And he was like, oh, this and that. I gotta ask. Red flag number one. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you want me to be your girlfriend, yeah, you gotta ask. You don't have to ask if that's not your intention. And I'm gonna just be doing me. But if you want me to be your girlfriend, you gotta ask. Red flag. If you ever have to have that discussion with a guy, red flag. So anyway, he asked me and I said, yeah. And we started dating, right? Boom. So we're dating. And around like, so that happened 2 months into knowing him, right? Around like 2 or 3 weeks later, his family, which I know his family, right? All of that good stuff. They were having some kind of like housewarming. So I went, and his family know that he and I are talking, right? So there this guy goes, the narc boyfriend, introducing me to his people, like his cousins, like the people that I didn't know at the party, right? Like, oh, this person is my cousin so and so, this person is my cousin so and so, this person is my cousin so and so. Mind you, he's showing me a lot of people. So obviously I'm not gonna get a good grip, a good understanding of who's who, and I'm not gonna remember everybody's face, right? Because everything is happening quickly. Like, this is this, this is who, this is this, this is this. And I'm like, okay, cool, hi, right? Boom. Keep that in mind. This is important for later. So he was showing me all his cousins, all his people, and that was that, right? Cool. We put that to rest. So we continue dating, we continue getting to know each other and all that stuff, right? But throughout this whole time, right, mind you, at this point, we're 3 months dating now. Well, according to him, that we've been dating for 2 months. But according to me, I counted as 3 months, but he recently just asked me. So I think of it as like a month dating, 3 months knowing him. So anyway, right? Since I don't want to say day one, but since meeting him, I kept having nightmares. I kept having bad dreams. Mind you, I'm a Christian, right? And me and God are like that. We're like this, literally. Me and God, yeah. So I keep having bad dreams, weird dreams, and I never was able to understand them or like really sit down and think about them, right? So I'm just like, that's weird. Like, why is it that lately I've been just having bad dreams? So what's going on? So I just never really gave it, too much thought. Keep that in mind. That was God telling me, hey, girl, no, he's not it. So anyway, 3 months of like, us talking, we're dating, this and that, right? Boom. We start to kind of like get to know each other on the question of like, hey, like, who were you dating before? This and that. What's your history in terms of dating, right? So he got to tell me he was dating this girl back in the country where he just came from. Not the country we share, but on another country. He was living there. He was telling me, yeah, my last girlfriend was, in that country. We lived together. We had a business together, this and that. And I'm like, do y'all have kids together? He was like, no. And I'm like, okay, so you lived with this person, you had or you have a business. He was like, we had a business. So past tense, right? And I'm like, so how long has it been since y'all broke up? He was like, 2 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, this and that. Keep that in mind. So we kept dating. There was this one day, my building complex sent out an email like, hey, everybody, let's get together on a walk. We'll do a 2-mile walk, this and that as a group, because it was a good, like, we're in summer, so it was like May, right? Let's just have a walk. So I'm like, instead of just me going and getting to know, just being awkward for the first, I want to say half an hour, being awkward, not knowing anyone, let me invite this guy on the walkathon so we can just walk together, right? Within the group. So I invited him. Mind you, the weather was beautiful. I'm the type of person, I look at the weather app before I go out because I like to carry my umbrella. I am not going to be caught, drained for no reason. I own umbrellas, so I'm going to use them, right? So I looked at the weather. The weather was perfect. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to this walkathon with my building. So I invited him. He was like, cool, I'll pull up. So mind you, the weather was beautiful and there was nothing on the forecast. Okay, so I met up with him. We joined the group with my building. We're walking, right? Within, I want to say 7, I'm not exaggerating, 7 to 8 minutes, not a full 10 minutes, but more than 5 minutes. So around 7 to 8 minutes into the walk, it started pouring out of nowhere. I'm not talking trickling. I'm not talking, it got cloudy and then it started pouring out of nowhere. Okay. And I'm like, dang, is that a sign? Like, I'm a Christian, mind you. So I'm like, is that a sign? Like, keep having bad dreams. The weather was beautiful. This guy came around. It's pouring. What is going on? And I'm like, okay, that's weird. That's very weird. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So while we're trying to get home, we're trying to come back to my house, right? We're trying to come back to, get ourselves together, remove all the wet clothes and all that stuff, right? While we just got in the building, he got a text from Messenger. He got a Messenger text, right? The Messenger message said, oh, I've been trying to reach you. I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you. So what is going on? And I took his phone. I'm like, who is that? He was like, my ex, the one from that country that, we were living at, the one that we had, who were living together. We had a business together, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, first of all, why does she still have your contact? Like, why do you still, keep in contact with her? He was like, I don't keep in contact with her. And I'm like, well, based on the text, she's saying she hasn't, she hasn't heard of you. What's going on? The way the message is worded, it sounds like y'all talk heavy, like every day. That's your girl. He was like, nah. We broke up 2 years ago. I don't know what she's on. And I'm like, okay, block her. He was like, yeah, easy, no problem. I'll block her right now. Mind you, this is something I never do. Because he was in my face, like we were in person, I said that. But I'm the kind of person, instead of me telling you to block someone, I'll block you. Like, I don't tell men to block women. I do not tell men to block anybody. Like, you should just know that. You should just know that. The message literally said, hey, I've been trying to reach you, haven't been able to, reach you. What's going on? This and that. It literally sounds like it's someone that they talk every single day. Like, I can't make it up. So I told him, block her. He was like, okay, cool. I'll block her. He blocked her, right? Cool. So we got in, this and that. Mind you, he gave me the password to his phone. That's point number 2. That's how narcissists act. They give you passwords to their phone so that your guard is down, right? So we're in the building. We're about to get to the elevator to get to the apartment unit to figure ourselves out, right? So boom, while we're going up, because of what just happened, right? I'm over here like, dang, like it kept bothering me. I never told him though. It kept bothering me. And I'm like, dang, this guy, his ex is texting him, I haven't heard from you, da 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 da, what's going on, are you okay? Because for someone to ask, are you okay, it means we talk every day. So that kept running in my mind, running through my mind, okay? So we got to my apartment. Something he never does. He did it. He left his phone in the living room. Mind you, this guy kept his phone like this. He kept his phone on him, but he gave me the password to try to fool me, right? So he went to the bathroom to shower, and he left his phone in the living room. He told me, da 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 da, I can't, go back home with wet clothes. Can I get some kind of like sweatpants, like baggy stuff, that one? So I gave him some baggy clothes, some sweatpants, and an oversized shirt, right? He went in the bathroom, tried to shower, right? While he's showering, mind you, as soon as we got in my apartment, it stopped raining. Not in the building, in my apartment. And I looked at the window, it stopped raining. So I'm like, okay. So we were out trying to enjoy this nice weather. It was pouring. Now that we're in, it's a beautiful weather again. Okay, cool, whatever. So he's in the bathroom showering. His phone kept going off. But I'm on my phone on IG, right? His phone is right next to me on the table, just going off, going off, going off. And I peep over, it's messages, text messages. I ignored it. On my phone. The person kept texting. And I'm like, who could that be? And he has his phone set in a way like you can't see number or the phone. You can't see the name or the phone number of who's texting unless you unlock the phone, right? So I unlock his phone. It's the same girl texting him. Hey, like, what's going on today? I heard you, for some hours, then some hours I don't, this and that. I was worried that you coming to the US would become a problem in our relationship, this and that. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, girl, don't freak out. And then I saw another text come through saying, I even messaged you on Instagram, you haven't answered. So I went on Instagram. And it's this girl saying, what is going on? This and that. Our relationship is in jeopardy. Da 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 da. I went on Messenger. It's the same girl. Hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you okay? This and that. Are you okay? I'm like, okay. Mind you, I had him block her. I didn't know he had her on anything else. So boom. I'm like, girl, he's playing you. He's playing you. First, you had to tell him to block her. Next, she's freaking out and she's saying that their relationship is in jeopardy, right? And I'm the type of person, be honest with me. Like, if you have someone in another country, let me know and I'll be going on with my life. Like, I don't play those games. I'm someone who don't play games at all. So as soon as he got out of the bathroom, like, I'm someone, when I'm mad, that's when I'm calmest. Right? That's when I'm the calmest. Like, I'm not gonna scream, I'm not gonna yell, I'm not gonna cuss you out. As soon as he got out of the bathroom with my clothes on and a bag from my bathroom cabinet with his wet clothes in, I'm like, listen, take my clothes off, give me that bag, and leave the house. He was like, what? What's going on? What happened? Showed him his phone. He was like, oh yeah, she just won't let go, this and that. I'm like, you said you woke up with her 2 years ago. Yes, mama. I'm like, you said you woke up with her 2 years ago. Why you didn't tell me she had a problem with, I'm like, why you didn't tell me she had a problem with, messaging you a lot, this and that? We could have had a conversation about that. He was like, I know, this and that. I just didn't know how you would take it. But her and I are not together anymore. I'm like, whatever is happening with you and her, I don't care. I want you to leave my house right now. He was like, we can talk about it. You see what I've always been telling you? You're impulsive. Da da da. I'm like, I don't care if you think I'm impulsive or not. Leave this unit. I don't care where you go. I don't care if you stay behind the door. I don't care. But leave the unit. He was like, no, let's talk about that. You're impulsive. You're trying to leave this relationship for nothing. And I'm like, that was the last time I told you to leave. I'm about to call the cops on you. He was like, you wouldn't do that. You know, I've only been here 6 months. I don't have my papers yet. Da 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 da. You wouldn't call the cops. Doop doop doop. It's 3 numbers. Ain't nothing to remember. It's not anything crazy. It's not anything hard to do. It's 3 digits. Boop boop boop. Hello, there's a man here at my house. He refuses to leave. I put the cops on speaker, and the cop said something like, do you know him? I'm like, I've seen him around, but somehow he got in my apartment and he won't leave. I want him to leave. And I started screaming. The cops are like, we're on our way. Stay on the phone. We have your coordinates. Stay on the phone. While the cops said that they're on their way, he left. And I told the cops, like, oh, he left, this and that. They were like, we're still gonna be on our way. We're gonna be like in front of your complex. Stay on the phone in case we need to come in. Which unit are you in? So I told them da 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 da. So the guy left. Boom. So that happened, right? So I had plans to move out. I want to say 2 months after that happened, right? For unrelated things. Unrelated things. I had plans to move out. So boom, I posted my 65-inch TV on Facebook Market, right? Mind you, the TV is 2 years old, still brand new, 65 inches, you know, all the good stuff. But I don't want to be, you know, moving with this big ass TV. I like to move in with all brand new things, right? Delivered to that new place. So I posted it. Boom. This guy reached out. I'm interested in buying, da 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 da. Where can we meet? So I give that person the address of a complex near my house, like about 2 blocks down. I had my cousin with me, carried the TV, and we went to that lobby of that building. My cousin carries, so not just the TV, he carry. Okay, so we went to that building. Boom. The Facebook guy came. He was like, what's your Cash App? So I gave him my Cash App. Mind you, when he gave me his phone to put my number, it looked like he was requesting money from me. And I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to send me money. He was like, oh, right. So he tried to scam me, right? Boom. He sent the money. I'm like, mind you, I don't do returns. Make sure you really look at the TV, see if you like it. And I even plugged it in for him. He saw that it worked. And I'm like, make sure if you're not a technician, make sure you call somebody to make sure all the pieces are in, because I'm moving. So you won't find me. I don't want to be found. I don't do refunds. So once you live with the TV, I told him that. Once you live with the TV, it's a final purchase. He was like, I got it. It's a working TV. I went through the settings. Everything works. So I'm good. I'm like, okay. So he took the TV, put it in his car, and drove away, right? Boom. That happened. Nothing crazy. 3 days before I moved, well, let me backtrack. So he went home, right? On the same night, so the sale happened around like 8 p.m. Around like 10 p.m., I got, mind you, as soon as he left, I transferred the funds to my bank account. Because this is Facebook people that we're dealing with. They be on some funny stuff. No. So I transferred the funds to my bank, right? Around like 10 p.m., he requested a refund. I knew he was going to try that. I knew it. So I blocked him. And I waited until the funds went to my bank account. I deleted my Cash App. Boom. A week before I move out, I get a knock on my door. So I get a knock on my actual apartment unit, right? And mind you, on that day, everyone was at my house. My mom, my cousin who carries, my older brother, everyone was home, right? I'm like, who is it? And I heard the person say my now husband's name, but at the time he was my boyfriend or someone I talked to. Work. So boom, he said that guy's name, my husband's name, and I know my husband was at work. Well, let me say boyfriend so I don't confuse y'all. I know my boyfriend was at work. So he said my now boyfriend's name. At the time, we were just talking. And I know my friend at the time, right? I'm going to say friend so I don't confuse y'all. Or I'm going to say my now husband so y'all can really know what I'm talking about. So he said, the person behind the door said my now husband's name. I know my husband was at work and I know he doesn't sound like that, but I entertained it. I opened the door with the chain on, and he was the guy I sold the TV to. I'm like, yes. He was like, yeah, I'm returning the TV. It's right here. He had the TV on the floor. He was like, yeah, I'm returning the TV, this and that. I'm like, first and foremost, is there any problem with the TV? Is there a reason why you're returning it? He was like, no, there's no problem. I just don't want the TV anymore. I'm returning it. I said, first of all, I'm not a technician, so I don't know what you took out of the TV. That's number one. Number two, when you were purchasing it, I told you no refunds and that I won't be accepting it from you because I'm moving. That's the point of me selling it. You bought it. You went home with it. It's overnight now. It's the next day. No, you cannot get it. And number three, you just knocked on my door. I never provided you my address. I never provided you or told you it was okay to come to my house. And here you are knocking on my door. And he was like, I don't care about any of what you're saying. He said exactly that. He's very sassy. He was like, I don't care what you're saying. I already called the cops. They're on the way. I'm like, cops? Never mind that. I'm the queen of calling the cops. I'll call the cops for you. Because I know there's a chance that he was lying. He's a black man. And also he's completely wrong. He's stalking me. You know my address. You're knocking on my house. Let me explain to y'all the gravity of the situation, right? My apartment building at the time had 18 floors and a penthouse. So basically 19 floors, right? Let's just say I was on the 7th floor. And my unit was like 720. He came knocking on 720. How do you know that information? Out of 19 floors. Anyway, we'll get to that. He's like, I'm going to call the cops. I just want my money back. Here's your TV. I'm like, you call the cops? That's funny because I'm going to call the cops. You're at my house. I never invited you. You're in front of my door. I'm calling the cops for us. Don't worry. Don't you worry about calling the cops. I got it. So I called the cops right in front of him. He left with the TV. He was like, I'll meet you downstairs in the lobby with the cops that I called. And I'm like, my cops will be there too. So I don't know. So I met him in the lobby. The cops said they're on their way. So we waited for his cops. His cops never showed up because I know he ain't called no cops. He's a black man. So anyway, my cops showed up, right? The cops were like, so what happened? I explained exactly what happened. I told the cops that I don't do returns. I'm about to move. He slept with the TV overnight and now he's trying to return, even though I told him there's no returns. And also, too, I didn't meet him in this building where I live. He kept knocking on my actual door. I'm suing him. Arrest him now. Like he's stalking me. So the cop was like, calm down, this and that. Sir, you can't return that. She already told you she don't do returns. And you coming to knock on her actual unit door is against the law. You can't just come knock on her door. She didn't provide you with that information. Leave now. So he left, right? With the TV, of course. Wait, no. He left and he left the TV in the lobby. I don't care. I went up to my unit. It's your TV. Do whatever you want with it. He left it in the lobby. So I went to take the elevator. I looked back. I saw him leaving and he left the TV in the lobby. I don't care. So I went up to my unit, right? Boom. My life went on as normal. I moved and everything. And then I sat down one of these days after I moved. I'm like, how did that person know my address? Who was that? Come to find out, me putting 2 and 2 together, that's one of my narc's cousin. That's one of his cousins that I actually met and was introduced to at the party, the housewarming party. But again, I didn't know at the time because I was just saying hi to everyone really quickly. Mind you, he had a bunch of cousins and I was saying hi to a bunch of his family. So that was one of his cousins. I'm telling you, narcissists, they love sending flying monkeys. And that was his actual cousin that he sent to harass me. Okay? So I'm telling y'all, narcissists, stay away from them. Moral of the story, stay away from people who display narcissism, behaviors and like characteristics or any of that sort. They will get you to, they will get you to the point, they will get you over the edge. They will send flying monkeys. They will do anything to make your life miserable. The moment you start to notice narcissistic tendencies, leave them alone. What are some narcs characteristics, right? Number one, he followed a lot of baddies on IG. That was one of the things that got us to argue around like 2.5 months in, before all this craziness happened, right? He followed a lot of baddies, and when I went on his IG, I went on his messages, he would message them, they would leave him unseen. That's number one. And I don't know, there's something about women leaving my man on scene that I'm just like, you're embarrassing now. Like, you're giving me an ick. Like, I actually don't like you anymore. Like, if women don't want you, why do I want you? Anyway, that was a source of like arguments. He had a lot of baddies he was following, and he was messaging them, and they were leaving him on scene. So that's a sign of a narc, following a lot of women and not finding an issue with that, even when I brought it up and told him to unfollow them. He unfollowed them, but he would follow a lot more after. That's one sign. Number two, he would get you to kind of like do things that you never thought you would do. Like, he would get you to cross your morals and your boundaries. One of the morals that I bent was when he would be like, oh, me telling him to block that lady from the country he was living at. That's something I never do. So that was me bending. That's number two. Number three, signs of a narc, they think they're above everything. They think they're God. They think everyone is beneath them. They think that they have more intelligence than everyone. They use everyone as a stepping stool, right? They don't see you as a human. They see you as someone they could get something from. Come to find out, he was just trying to get papers from me. Okay? He was still married. He was still married. Not married, but like common law married. Well, no, actually, I was at number, I think, 3 or 4. The lady that he was married to in that other country, he told me it was for papers. Okay, so that's what I assume he was trying to get from me. So all he does is use people to get up there. Okay, number 4, narc signs. Um, there was a lot of red flags, man. A lot of red flags. I want to say number 4 is God speaking to me through dreams and through kind of like different things he was doing, me bending my morals and things like that. That's another sign, okay? Him calling me impulsive when he was the one, he was gaslighting me, calling me impulsive for leaving you, for telling you to leave my house when you were the one, doing things you weren't supposed to do. Hell yeah, I'm impulsive. If that's what you want to call it, no one is going to play in my face. That's just what it is. So, more of the story, do not mess with narcs. They will ruin your life. And this is the story of how I called the cops on my ex twice. One was on him directly, and the second was his cousin he sent as a flying monkey. So, let me know if you ever dealt with a narc. Let me know if you would have done something differently. Let me know if you handle things yourself or do you call the cops. Let me know everything in the comment. I'll catch you guys back in the comments and also in the next video. Subscribe.